Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Spoiler Warning Podcast. This is review number 630 with our review of The Lie. I'm Christopher Schnese.
And I'm Stephen Miller.
And if you're joining us for the first time, the Spoiler Warning Podcast is a weekly film review program. Each week on the show, we're going to dive in, debate, discuss, and argue over the latest films coming to a streaming platform near you. Right now, we are talking about a film that's coming to Amazon Prime, so you'll be able to watch that for free if you have that. This is part of the Welcome to the Blumhouse quadrilogy of films. I mean, I guess they're anthology, I guess technically is what you would have to call it, since they're not technically related.
Yeah, or buying in bulk, however you want to interpret it.
Yeah, but basically over the last weekend and this weekend, Amazon and Blumhouse have put together 4 films which are being doled out to each week, and we thought, why not dive in, debate, discuss, and argue about those 4 films for you? Mostly, sure. The real reason I was going to push Steven into this is because they seemed very horror filmy. At least the trailer that they edited together of all 4 films together kind of portrayed this as sort of a horror film anthology, which I always love to jump at the opportunity to push Steven to watch. So,
Yep. And I'm willing to do it because I've made Chris review plenty of random slow foreign films from film festivals over the last couple of months.
That is definitely true. We might be talking about one of those in a few episodes. But yeah, so as we said in the last episode, we've got lots of stuff to cover, so we're just going to dive in. What do you say we get started, Steven?
Let's do it.
All right, we're going to take a listen to the trailer for The Lie, and then we're going to come back and give you a review.
Hey, bet they thought they were going to get away with this, huh?
Excuse me?
Brittany and Kayla didn't make it to the dance camp. Didn't the school call you?
No, Kayla's sick. I kept her home this weekend.
I was sure they were doing this together. You know, they're with their secret plans.
No way.
What?
Dad, pull over. It's Brit. What are you doing here?
I'm going to that stupid ballet thing, duh.
Do you think I could talk to Kayla?
Her dad took her to the doctor.
Can she call me when she's back?
Of course. You need to tell her dad that you don't know where she is.
No. Hey, what happened to your face? Looks like you got hit.
Is there a bathroom nearby? Can we pull over now?
I'm scared. She can't be trusted to talk to Brittany's dad.
Kayla! Get down! Where's your friend? Oh.
Whatever this game is that you were playing, it's over.
Where's Brittany? Get off me!
Dad, get out of here!
I'm going to the police.
How do you want to do something really bad? I pushed her. I pushed her. She fell.
The second-degree murder.
There's something wrong with her.
She was such a happy little girl.
Kayla's friend, her father came by the house acting strange.
Did Brittany ever talk about her father?
She told me that he hits her.
You ever lose your temper with your kid?
Who told you this? Does he really hit her?
No. Guess I learned from the best.
Whatever you want to believe, she didn't mean it.
What? Don't look at me like that.
All right, so that was the trailer for The Lie. It is essentially the story of a family, and they're on their way to a little thing, and something happens that results in the death of a girl caused by the daughter of the family, and the rest of the film is sort of them trying to navigate what to do about the fact that they are all now sort of privy and parcel to the event that took place, and how they try to cover their tracks and keep their daughter from potentially going to prison. Stephen Miller, what did you think of The Lie?
I wish they had kept the original title, How to Ensure You Are Never Even Remotely Close to Being Able to Get Away with Murder, which is I thought this movie sucked ass. I thought this was really, really bad. I feel like no character in this movie, even for 1 second, does the thing that any reasonable character looking out for their self-interest would have done. I feel like it is so contrived. Like, the premise, is, it makes sense, right? Like, your daughter murdered someone, you think accidentally, do whatever you can to protect her. I get it. Like, core psychological premise, have it play out, shoestring budget, probably, like, make do with what you have. Makes sense, whatever. Everyone here, like, they just over and over again do things that had me yelling at the TV. Like, what are you thinking? Why are you saying that right now? Why are you doing this? I thought it was, like, really oddly dramatic. Like, I thought the dialogue was flat out bad. I mean, I don't blame, like, Sarsgaard or whatever. Like, they get what they get, but it it just seemed very, very thin. The discussions as parents are realizing what is happening and realizing the lengths they have to go to protect their daughter, I thought were dumb. The film touches on subjects like self-harm in a way that I think is lazy enough to be insulting that you would bring it up if that's all you're going to do with it. And characters just behave inexplicably stupidly all the time. And this is one of those movies where for me it was like, I know what kind of movie this is, so there's got to be a big twist or something coming of like how it's going to escalate or what is going to happen. And I was just angry waiting for it because I was like, the only reason you made this movie is to do whatever you're going to do at the end, and it won't be worth it. And it wasn't worth it. The only really good thing I can say about this movie is eggs with jalapenos and Gouda sounds good. Like I wouldn't mind making that. But otherwise, I was really not high on this movie.
I definitely thought this was a pretty weak film. I think I didn't think it was as disastrous as you did. Not to say that it's good by any means. What I would say is if you want this genre of film but stretched out a little bit and made way better, I would say go watch Defending Jacob on Apple TV Plus. It's a series which is a similar premise, except for there's a very public murder in the town and people begin to suspect that it's Chris Evans' son, and he
I'm more of a Team Edward guy myself,
but he's basically playing he was like the main district attorney or something, and then he obviously has to like be let go while his son's under investigation, and it also deals with like the lengths to which a family would go to try to protect a child. But in that show, we as the audience don't know whether or not the kid did it, and that's really the driving force of that story. This is a much different kind of beast where it's like, oh yeah, this kid definitely pushed this girl off of a bridge and she's probably dead now. So we don't know where the body is. So let's just run and pretend like nothing happened. And I think that in all the pivotal scenes, there is not a steady progression to where they arrive at. Like, the father character goes from like rushing and tripping in a river as he's looking for the body to, we'll just cover it up and go home. Everything's cool now. Right. And I think that they don't spend enough time with dealing with what the situation is. But I think that there are moments that I kind of enjoyed, like watching him navigate how to try to tell the wife and then her having to find out from the daughter and then coming out. I think there's an interesting dynamic with the fact that they are parents who are estranged, who are both seeing other people. That's another problem with the film is they're both semi-living with somebody else. At least the person seems to sleep over a lot. And then now they're just like, oh, everything's cool, but for reasons I can't tell you, my ex-husband has to now stay at my house for a little while, and also we're not going to see each other for a couple weeks. Like there's no. It seems like there's a really easy way where this could spiral further outside of the triangle of the mother, father, daughter, and I think that this film not squanders, but like misses out on an opportunity to really spiral out of control, and instead it's really just the the actions upon people start to get higher and higher and higher. I like the sort of, I like the existence of the other character who has introduced things. Like I liked his presence in the story. The way that sort of plays out, maybe not as much like, but yeah, I think there was enough there that this could have turned into a really interesting film, but I think it was trying to be more clever than it needed to be, and the result of it was not being that clever. And I think that, I joked in our last review about films directly showing you some things that are not true as a way to like misdirect you from things that may appear later. And I found that kind of annoying in this film. Yeah. And I hated the ending. Like I like the spirit of the ending, right? Like I like
were you not bracing for the spirit of the ending? I feel like I was like, okay, there's only like one thing this movie could be doing. Oh no,
I mean from the standpoint of after that is revealed.
Oh, you mean like the emotional,
the literal ending? Yeah, like the auditory cue and the what you're actually visually watching. I thought that worked, but the problem is that it wasn't a through line to, like, I don't know. There's obviously you just don't have kids, Steven.
Yeah, I know. I'm not fit to review this movie.
Also, for the record, I don't have kids either.
Yeah. It's just, there's just so much that is, like, I think the dynamic between all the characters is just flimsy, doesn't work. Like, I did not like the actress who played the daughter at all. Like, I'm sorry, again, I don't know that it's her fault any more than I blame, like, Peter Sarsgaard, but everything is just weird from the moment it begins. Like, every dynamic is off, everything feels telegraphed in a way that is wrong. Side characters to me were kind of like comically ridiculous. Like, I don't know how detectives work after watching this movie, because the conversations that happen here, there's the sidekick who basically is bad cop. Like, that must be his job description, is I am bad cop. Like, I yell like, hey, what are you, Indian, Arab, or what? When I'm interrogating people. And then there's like empathetic lady.
Obviously, Steven, he was trying to provoke him to see if he gets physical when he's agitated.
And there's also empathetic lady cop who is like Willem Dafoe in Boondock Saints, where she just like sees a snowy area and is like, it all makes sense, even though I don't have a body.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was just weird. I don't know why it annoyed me as much as it did. It just like, it really got on my nerves. It felt very, very lazy to me. And the things, when this movie decides to reach for greater heights of, maybe height is the wrong word, when they dig themselves deeper into a hole, I was like actually angry at the movie with everything that they were having the mother and father character do. It just seemed like what did you think was going to happen?
Does one of those things involve actually digging a hole?
Yeah, exactly. Like, how was this your plan?
Yeah, it was pretty bad. But yeah, I like I said, I think that I think you could edit together a trailer from the actual content of this film and make something that looks compelling that like you might want to see. Like, I think that there are definitely moments of, I definitely won't say brilliance, but I think there are moments of like, oh yeah, cool, this is like I'm with this. So like, let's see where this is going. And then there's also times where you're just like, this is a little silly.
Yep. Now, did you know that this was a gala premiere at TIFF 2 years ago?
I
feel like that just couldn't have gone well.
Well, yeah, I don't know.
Yep, that's it.
All right, well, I think it's probably then about time to get to verdict, Steven. So if you're going to give us a must-see, recommend with a caveat, wait for rental, pass with a caveat, or a must-avoid, what would you give it?
I haven't done this in a while, but I'm going all the way to must-avoid. This movie made me... I was angry while I watched it. I was angry that I watched it. I was wishing I was watching a horror movie that would give me nightmares because this movie like just annoyed me too much. Like, at least making me scared would do something, and this didn't feel like it did anything.
Yikes. I am going to bump this up to a pass with a caveat. I think that, like, the caveat is if you want to watch this anthology, you might as well watch it. And also, I mean, I text Steven when I had finished this film. I'm assuming that the Welcome to the Blumhouse is some sort of double entendre where the Blumhouse is actually this anthology and all of the stories will relate to families and the lengths that parents will go to protect them or to do something related to them. So if you're going to somehow listen to this before you watch the rest of the films, there's a fun little caveat for you. You could play the game of trying to figure out if this rings true for all 4 films. Spoilers, it rings true for 2 of them. All right, so that is going to bring us to the end of our review of The Lie. Stephen Miller, if people want to find you throughout the week, where can they do that?
People can find me at twitter.com/sdavemiller or sdavemiller.com.
People can find me at ChristopherInRealLife.com or Twitter.com/ChristopherIRL. You can find the podcast over at thespoilerwarning.com where you can get a bunch of the back episodes of the show. If you want to subscribe to the show, you can do so in Overcast, Stitcher, Apple Podcasts, or wherever podcasts are found. If you want to know when the episodes go live, you can follow us at twitter.com/spoilerwarning, facebook.com/thespoilerwarning, or instagram.com/thespoilerwarning. If you want to get a hold of us directly, you can send an email to fans@thespoilerwarning.com, or you can use the contact form on our site. Music for this episode will come from the soundtrack to The Lie, so hopefully you are enjoying that. We're going to take off, and we have another Blumhouse film to review, and that is The Black Box, so we'll see you in that review. Bye.
Bye.